You're staring at a masterpiece right now, but you're only seeing half the story. Renaissance and Surrealist artists didn't just paint pretty pictures. They embedded secret codes, hidden messages, and visual puzzles that most people completely miss. Today, we're cracking the code. Let's start with the Renaissance. In 1434, Jan van Eyck painted the Arnolfini Portrait. And if you look closely at the background, there's a tiny mirror reflecting two witnesses to the scene. Above it, Van Eyck literally signed his name, saying Jan van Eyck was here. This wasn't just a painting. It was a legal document, a marriage contract disguised as art. The single candle in the chandelier, that's God watching. The little dog at their feet, fidelity. Every single object was a symbol. But it gets wilder. Hans Holbein's The Ambassadors from 1533 shows two wealthy men surrounded by symbols of knowledge and power. Looks normal, right? Wrong. There's a distorted smear at the bottom that, when viewed from the correct angle, reveals a human skull. It's called anamorphosis, a visual trick reminding viewers that death comes for everyone, no matter how powerful you are. Memento mori. Remember, you must die. Michelangelo took it even further. In the Sistine Chapel, when he painted the creation of Adam in 1512, he hid something extraordinary. The cluster of angels surrounding God, it's shaped exactly like a human brain. Scholars believe Michelangelo was secretly suggesting that God didn't just give Adam life, he gave him intellect, creativity, the divine spark of consciousness itself. This was radical for its time, elevating human potential to godlike status. Botticelli's Primavera is packed with fertility symbols, a coded blessing for a Medici wedding. The myrtle represents virginity. The oranges symbolize the Medici family. And the entire scene merges pagan mythology with Christian morality. It's Neoplatonic philosophy painted onto canvas, suggesting that ancient wisdom could enrich Catholic teaching. Now, let's jump forward to Surrealism. Salvador Dalí and René Magritte took symbolism to a completely different dimension. They weren't hiding messages in realistic scenes. They were painting the language of dreams. Dalí's The Persistence of Memory from 1931 shows melting clocks draped over a barren landscape. Time isn't reliable. It's fluid, subjective, warped by memory and consciousness. Dalí developed what he called the paranoid critical method, inducing self-paranoia to access his unconscious mind. He called his paintings hand-painted dream photographs. The ants crawling across one clock, death and decay. The crutches propping up objects, support for life's inadequacies. Every element was part of his personal symbolic alphabet. Magritte worked differently. His painting, Time Transfixed from 1938, shows a perfectly ordinary room with a tiny steam engine bursting out of a fireplace. Magritte hated the English title. He preferred the French La Durée Poignardée, meaning ongoing time stabbed by a dagger. He was literally tearing apart the fabric of reality, questioning our perception of logic and order. His famous pipe painting, Ceci n'est pas une pipe, translates to, "This is not a pipe." And he's right. It's not a pipe. It's a painting of a pipe. Magritte forced viewers to confront the difference between objects and their representations, between reality and illusion. Both movements used art as a secret language, Renaissance artists embedded religious and political messages to avoid censorship from the church. Surrealists channeled Freudian psychology, using symbols like lobsters for sexuality, windows for consciousness, and metamorphosis for the fluidity of identity. Here's what's mind-blowing. These weren't accidents. Every flower, every gesture, every distorted object was intentional. Renaissance viewers educated by sermons and emblem books could read these symbols instantly. Surrealists created their own visual vocabulary, drawn from dreams and psychoanalysis. So next time you look at a famous painting, don't just admire the technique, look closer. That skull in the corner, a reminder of mortality. That melting clock, time collapsing under the weight of memory. That mirror reflection, witnesses to a secret ceremony. Art isn't just what you see, it's what you decode. And now you have the key.